Morena, gentlemen. Welcome to another tremendous day of online learning. Hope you had an enjoyable and relaxing long weekend. And today we're getting back into the product life cycle, and specifically we're looking at extension strategies. Now, extension strategies refer to the activities by firms that relate to the marketing mix, which extends the life of the product before it goes into decline. Now, businesses can use a variety of different actions to prevent their product from going into decline. And just a refresher from last week, we know that at the decline stage of the product life cycle, our sales are starting to fall or continue to fall from where they initially begin to fall right at the back end of the maturity stage. So firms can use these extension strategies to try and maintain high levels of sales. And examples of these are advertising. So firms can promote their product through a range of different channels into a range of different market segments, whether that be the existing target market to remind them how good the product is, or potentially into new target market segments. Price reductions. So we've looked at pricing as part of this course, and price reductions could be in the form of promotional pricing or price skimming. So by reducing the price of a product, we're going to increase quantity demanded because more consumers are now able and willing to purchase the product. So a bit of the old law of demand coming into play there. And a classic example are our iPhones or smartphones. And we'll know that when a new smartphone is released into the marketplace, it's quite expensive. As time goes on, that price is reduced. And that price continues to reduce, often over a few years, until the product is pulled from the shelves. And if the business didn't reduce the price of these iPhones, it's likely that sales would fall dramatically within a year or so as a new and much cleverer smartphone was introduced to the market. So by reducing the price of these smartphones, it keeps these smartphones on the shelves and selling for longer than if they retained their initial high price. Adding new features to products or updating them in a way that makes them attractive to the changed and current needs and wants of consumers absolutely looks to extend the life cycle of products. Exploring new markets, absolutely. So two features of this is one, it's selling into new geographical areas. So perhaps we might have had a product that was selling very well in Europe, and then as sales have started to fall in Europe, the business has gone to look into other markets. They might have come down under to Australasia, or they might have gone into to Africa or North America or Asia, looking to explore a new market from which the business can sell their product into. And combined with this point and the adding value in advertising is that the business could look to adjust and update the product in a way that it's going to be more attractive to a different market segment. So an example of this could be that making a product more gender friendly for a specific gender and updating the product in such a way. Finally, new packaging. So brightening up or modernizing old packaging could be absolutely one way in which the business is able to extend the product life cycle by giving the impression that the product remains up to date and it remains tasteful. So the effect of these extension life cycles is to maintain those high levels of sales that a business achieves at that maturity phase of the product life cycle. i.e. it prevents the product from slipping downwards into the decline stage. And many of our household names of the biggest brands in the world have used these extension strategies to keep their products relevant. Classic example is Kentucky Fried Chicken. Kentucky Fried Chicken certainly uses a range of these extension strategies to maintain its high levels of sales and to keep it popular in the eyes of consumers. So in terms of activities today, there are a few activities today, guys, to tear into. The first one's just going to be a quick one, which is 19C and D on page 33 of the workbook, which is asking you to show an extension strategy on your product life cycle that you drew from last week. Then moving into activity 20 on page 34 of the workbook. So this involves discussing Levi's jeans. Now, Levi's jeans started in 1853, all the way back in San Francisco. And these are a very popular pair of jeans that I know myself personally has a pair of these in my drawers. So as part of completing task 20, you're going to need to watch our video here, which is linked in the PowerPoint slides. Also, to help you with your Levi's jeans product lifecycle question is you might want to do a little bit of Googling as well, or a little bit of research online to help you explain why you believe that Levi's jeans is where they are in the product lifecycle that you're going to be asked to draw. So it's an interesting wee video there, and so a little bit of research on your plate there, guys. So yeah, completing task 20 on page 34 of the workbook. And finally, the last activity of our unit 8, the marketing mix. Now this one's going to be due Wednesday of next week, guys. So giving a good week for you to complete this here. Bearing in mind tomorrow we're moving into unit 6, consumer law. And this one is to create a marketing poster, billboard, or other advertisement for a product of your choosing. And you must, as part of this, choose a product or service, or you can even make one up. So your advertising or your marketing poster, billboard, or advertisement has got to be related to a product, and that makes perfect sense, right? And you can choose an existing one, or you can make one up. You've got to create a brand name and slogan. So as part of making one up, it's a little bit of extra work there, guys, but you know me, I'll reward you for creativity. Is that by making a product up, you've got to create a brand name and a slogan. If you are using an existing one, make sure you use the correct slogan that the business uses for that existing product or service. Now, your marketing poster, billboard, or other advertisement should be in the form of an A3, A4 physical poster, if you like, which you can take a photo of and scan through to the due work function, or you can of course make it electronically in a word processing type application, or you could even make a video. And I certainly would encourage those tech gurus amongst you to try your hand at trying a video type advertisement. Once you've finished your marketing poster, billboard, or other advertisement, you'll need to submit it to me through the due work function on our class GrammarNet page. And I'll set the due date for Wednesday next week with a view that Friday next week there'll be some individuals that are going to be presenting their ad, marketing poster, or billboard to the rest of the class. And I'll let you guys know on it'll be Thursday next week who those select individuals are, and they'll be explaining that to the rest of the class in a Zoom meeting. So we'll have a Zoom class meeting on Friday of next week, and as part of that we're going to have A handful of individuals are going to talk through their marketing poster, billboard, or other advertisement. And as part of their presentation, they're going to be explaining the marketing features. So by that I mean the marketing mix that relates to their product. How are they promoting it? How are they linking it to price? Where can we buy the product? And so on. So just reiteration on today, guys. So we looked at extension strategies. So you need to copy these down as notes. And we've got a couple of workbook activities, 19C and D on page 33, and task 20 on page 34, which is going to involve watching our Levi's jeans story. And then in the background, due in just over a week, is your task 21, your marketing poster. Any questions or issues, guys, today? Please email me. Kia kaha.